The women I work with may be convicted killers, sexual abusers, arsonists, stalkers, or child abusers, and are largely considered only in that light. Yet the perpetrators of crimes that shock and appall us have also, almost always, experienced an extreme form of abuse or trauma in their own lives. They are victims as well as perpetrators. As a forensic psychotherapist, I try to understand the connection between the two aspects of their existence and to help my patients do the same. My job is to probe the roots and psychological geography of the crime, deriving insight that may then be used as evidence during a trial, as the basis for risk assessments concerning child custody, or as the starting point for a course of treatment. The principle of forensic psychotherapy is that we look at the whole person, the factors that shape them, and how experiences in one part of life ultimately prompted their development and actions in another. These links are not necessarily obvious or conscious and often only emerge after many hours of careful therapeutic work. That work must embrace complexity and contradiction, seeking to draw common threads out of chaotic lives, explanations that can offer a lifeline for people who might always have struggled to understand why they think or behave in a certain way. Together, we uncover and reconstruct the meaning of their offenses. Leading this process requires acceptance and equanimity, putting aside personal feelings about what a person might have done in order to help us both understand why. For more than 3 decades, I have worked in prisons, in secure units in hospitals, and in the community, acting in both assessment and treatment roles and working with female and male patients. I initially trained in clinical psychology using treatment models including cognitive behavioral therapy, a talking therapy that focuses on identifying and altering harmful patterns of behavior and thinking patterns, and the psychodynamic approach, which seeks to help an individual access and then understand their unconscious thoughts and feelings. But the vast majority of my work has been in the field of forensic psychotherapy, which brings the psychoanalytic approach into the field of criminality, using psychodynamic techniques to probe the motivations and meaning of a person's criminal actions. Many years of this work has shown me that this can genuinely help people to recognize unconscious influences in their lives that explain their actions. Moreover, this understanding can provide a solid foundation from which to treat and to some degree resolve these issues. In the best case, this can allow people who have been suffering intolerable and overwhelming emotions to control previously untamed impulses and regain some stability in their lives. In this forensic work, I've been most occupied by the crimes and violence of women. Female violence is a subject whose nature is frequently misunderstood and whose importance is too often disregarded. For many in society, from the media to some areas of the medical and legal professions, the reality of women's violence is a truth too uncomfortable to take seriously. A taboo that offends the idealized notion of women as sources of love, nurture, and care. That mothers sometimes harm or even kill their children is simply too shocking for many to engage with, as is the idea that women in caring roles could sexually assault or otherwise mistreat minors. Even to consider these things implicitly threatens our social fabric, bringing the shock of maternal abuse and female cruelty into comfortable lives in which the idea of the loving, caring family is so central. Our preconceptions about female violence are deeply embedded in history and culture. Stereotypes of vengeful women fill the pages of our oldest literature. The dangerous seductress, exemplified by the biblical tale of Judith beheading the Assyrian general Holofernes while he sleeps in his tent. The spurned wife driven to murderous rage in Greek tragedy, from Clytemnestra stabbing a helpless Agamemnon in the bath to Medea, so blinded by anger at Jason's betrayal that she kills not only his new wife, but her own children.